I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. Hell yeah. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's going to make the difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's going to win that inch. And I know if I'm going to have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You got to look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're going to see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're going to see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're going to do the same for him. That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals. That's football, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you gonna do?
I do it again. Ain't worried about it. They slip. Confident when I'm dealing with Snake. I lost my dog. Diamond collar with a pick up his face. Man in Spain, circle back to the bay. Hey. Hit a late in the hill with the grade. I say, eeny, mine, emo. Catch an apple like a fish. Don't let him go. I say,
you know what it is, America? It's time for another exciting adventure in father plus son plus football.
Yes, sir.
How y'all, as the old folks would say, how y'all faring? I'm just asking. I am the father.
And I am the son.
and we're gonna be talking about football and beyond. I gotta do a show. I'm thinking about. I just thought about this. Well, I've been thinking about this for a while, Seth.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do a show, a broadcast with some coaches that I know. And I just now found the name. Just right now.
Let me know. Talk to me.
From football and beyond. I'm just There's a lot going on in football. That's not necessarily football.
True.
So if you're listening to this broadcast and you're a coach, I don't care if you're a youth football coach, a high school coach, a college coach. I don't care. I don't even care. You hear how my voice went up? That means I'm real serious about what I'm about to say. I don't even care. If, I don't care if you've never done radio before. I'm dope at teaching people how to do broadcasting. I've been doing that for over 20 years. I want to have some serious conversations, not only about football, but things surrounding football, like the politics of things. So if you're a coach and you want to be a part of that broadcast that I'm putting together, can you imagine like 6'7"? 6'7"? I don't know. I don't know what it means. You imagine 9, 10 coaches all on one podcast talking about from football and beyond. I'm just saying, kind of dope. That would be kind of dope. What's your thoughts on that, Seth?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Well, you just saying.
Yeah, do I count? Do I count as a coach?
No, you're not a coach. You still need to be coached. Just saying. I'll give you a guest spot as a coach if you will actually reveal what 6'7" means.
Okay.
What does 6'7" mean?
It's literally like just a phrase. It's just like a catchy phrase.
Stop it. Cut the crap.
That's literally what
Cut
it is.
the crap. I already know the truth. You're lying.
No, it's not.
You're lying.
No, it's not. I'm not.
You just don't know then. Because it is not beyond young people to think they know something and you all believe you know it because you all know the same thing, but you guys are hella wrong.
Guess I don't know then.
Hella wrong. I'm just
Guess I don't know then.
I'm just saying. Remember, you guys are at that age where if somebody says it, it's true, and you witnessed it because somebody told you. No. They told me, and they would never lie. That's your age range right now. You guys can't be trusted for nothing. I'm just saying.
But yeah, let's jump into it.
All right, we got Rio. Rio, I heard there was a White House. I believe she was the White House. I think she was the White House correspondent. She was like the person who actually does the press secretary.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about illegal immigrants, and she talked. We got these illegals coming from Puerto Rico, and somebody was like, "Puerto Rico is American." And they caught her talking about Bad Bunny or something. Do you know anything about Bad Bunny?
I don't. I really don't.
But do you know anything about what's going on right now regarding Bad Bunny?
The only thing I heard was that she had a concert, or he or she had a concert or something. I don't know.
That is crazy that you said he or she, because I think they kind of act both.
Oh,
but their entire I don't know. Now I'm not a Bad Bunny expert by any stretch of the imagination. I just know what I read on this particular subject, right? If you want to talk to Kendrick Lamar, Super Bowl halftime show, I could talk about it. You want to talk about the Bruno Mars or the Beyonce when Bruno Mars came out and they actually took over Coldplay's, I could talk about that. You want to talk about Prince or Michael Jackson back in the days when Michael Jackson waved his magical wand and little kids appeared. I can talk about that. But I don't know nothing about Bad Bunny except MAGA folks are upset. And then I realized, well, what are they upset? Can't be upset that he's Spanish. They like Shakira. They like J-Lo, and they were together. They liked Santana. That can't be the case. Come to find out that Bad Bunny, I guess he does like cross-dressing.
Oh, it's a dude.
Yeah. I don't know what his pronouns are. He might be they, them. I'm not sure. And I don't want to put no bad press out. But what they're upset about is that they believe his entire show, because of his music that has made him famous, is going to be all in Spanish. Can you imagine an all Spanish speaking, singing halftime show in the Super Bowl? Would you watch that?
I don't really know. I'll be honest. I don't know.
It's the Super Bowl. You gotta watch the halftime show, right? Now, here's the thing. Here's what I like about what you just did. That was honest processing, by the way. Honest processing, America.
Yes,
just saw. This is what every American should be doing. When you ask that question, the person should not be saying, nah, because they're Spanish. Nah, because they only speak Spanish. Nah, because they cross-dress. The answer should be, as the young man just showed us. Not sure. When the Super Bowl gets here, if it's a good game, and I want to see what's it all about, I might watch, but I'm not going to boycott because of prejudices on the inside. That's what we're not going to do. That's what we're not going to do. Though the NFL is owned predominantly by a bunch of white guys, who a lot of them have affection for MAGA, they predominantly played by people of color. And so, you know, the halftime is going to be picked based upon the people watching, the people playing. The people playing are who matters. And so hopefully we can be in a country that's in a better position.
Yeah.
Because right now, I found myself in Fremont yesterday at a No Kings rally. I was there to take you to Stretch Lab, right?
Right.
And while there, we ran into a huge rally of No Kings. And I put on, let me do this. Because on Facebook, I wrote a post that said, hey, I'm witnessing this No Kings rally. And I'm disturbed by things that I'm seeing from both sides. And then I had a couple of Facebook friends elaborate. What do you mean by that? Well, what disturbed? I mean, I'm like, oh, number one, I guess I'll use this time to answer and then tell them to watch the broadcast for the answer they're looking for.
Indeed.
Can I take a moment? This is what I meant. I agree, No Kings, because this country is founded upon Constitution, a Constitution that has advanced this country to being one of the greatest countries the world has ever known, so long as everybody is abiding by constitutional law. That is a barometer that everybody must be judged by. I get it. I understand it. No problem with that. So the idea of No King is the idea that the president of the United States, because he's president, he doesn't get to act like he's a king and the rest of us are his subjects. And if we disagree with him, he can do things to manipulate and get rid of those who oppose his ideology. That's not this country. That's not this country. So yes, no kings. This country is not founded on kingship. Matter of fact, it's one of the reasons why this country exists, because we didn't want to be ruled by a queen. I say we like as if people like me we didn't have a, that's a different lesson. Let's stick to subject. So what I saw yesterday, and for those of you who are questioning me, it is obvious you don't know the city of Fremont. I wasn't in the city that we grew up in. For those who know me, who grew up in the city I'm from. Then again, Fremont might be a lot like Orange County today. But the reason why I was disturbed by both sides is because I agree that if we're talking about no king, then that's about Constitution. That's about our laws. And that's about nobody, not even the president. Right? I'm down for that. Nobody should be violating the Constitution. Nobody should be, weaponizing portions of the government to go after other Americans. You should not have, guys in mass just descending in plain clothes and arresting people that they think are illegals. And what is an illegal? Now, should people just be allowed to come through the borders as they wish? No, but we got more than one border. And it seems when it comes to the issue of illegal immigration, there's only one border we're talking about. Canadians come over here all the time. People come from this country from the northern border all the time. And nobody says anything. Should the Democrats be telling illegals that they can come over, and if you come over, we'll allow you to vote and give you health care? Absolutely not. I'm not down for that. But do we violate the law and violate the American public because somebody doesn't like it? No, we don't do that. There are due processes. We don't snatch people off the street, throw them in a caravan, put them on a ship, and ship them out. And then next thing you know, they're somewhere that they've never been because somebody believes they are what they're not. Should never happen in this country. At the same token, we shouldn't have people who are saying no kings because we're all queens. What? Sign up for that. We just sign up for that. Now, if you want to be a queen, you queening, okay. You in America. That's cool. No problem. Kind of hypocritical to say that you can be whatever you want to be and somebody else can't be whatever they want to be. Which brings me back to no kings as it relates to Constitution. Constitution of America allows us all to have equal playing field, equal opportunity to discuss and have dialogue and ensure that everybody breathing abides by the same court system. Wait a minute, Dion. When did America become equal? It's not even close. But we do at least have a constitution in place that if we all follow it and abide by it, and if we want to change it, there are processes where we can change it. If we continue to do that, you may not like the wins, and you may not be honored by some of the losses, but we're getting more close to equality than somebody thinking they're a king and somebody else not liking a king because they want everybody to be queens. And then finally, the most disturbing part for me, those two disturbing parts are the lower hanging fruit. The most disturbing parts for me was the amount of men, white men, between 80 to 100 years old who were on both sides of the fence. That's what disturbed me the most. Dion, why did that disturb you so much? Because when I think about white men in their 80s and 90s, I think about what their boyhoods were like. And what is an 80 to 90-year-old man with a MAGA hat? What is he saying to every person of color when he walks around with that MAGA hat on? What is he really? Is he talking Constitution? Because see, that conversation doesn't stop. That conversation doesn't stop with America. That speaks about whiteness and wanting to go back to a day where black folks knew their place, where older black men walked across the street when they saw a white man walking down the same street. When you say make America great again and you over 80 years old, my question becomes, what era of America are we talking about? And so I was a little disturbed because I did not see one 80-year-old white man, MAGA, being confronted by a 80-year-old white man, no kings. I did not see in all of the protesting and all of the back and forth conversations and all of the side situations, I did not see one white man tell another white man, you're wrong. Didn't see it. It was all out there. It was all out there. I did not see, I saw white MAGAs arguing with others who were not white, and I seen white MAGAs, I seen white non-MAGAs arguing with people of color who happen to be MAGA. I'm just saying. So, I think I've answered the question now. Can we move on?
Yep, I'm down.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you was out there, you saw some of it before you went.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts when you rolled up on it?
To be honest, at first I wasn't really sure what was going on until you told me.
When I rolled up, when you asked me, I wasn't really sure my answer. I had to read a few signs, see a couple of things, watch some interactions.
I kept seeing the word. I kept seeing the word like dictatorship and all that. Yeah. But then the weirdest thing I saw was somebody in a frog costume, which was kind of weird, but also kind of funny at the same time.
All right, let's tell the people what the broadcast is about.
All right. Prepare for San Leandro High School.
Ooh, the Pirates. Burn down the boats.
Mm-hmm. Varsity game film highlights, Week 8 versus San Leandro High School. Pirates. Adjusting to new defensive position.
Yup.
Visiting D3 colleges and JUCOs. Top 10 questions that demand an answer from me to the father. You already know. JV player shout outs, Peach State Gridiron Classic, and then we'll have our universal shout outs.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
You better have some good. You better have some
I have good questions. And I have 2 funny ones.
How do you know?
Because I made them. Anyways. And I have 2 funny questions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2 funny questions.
All right, let's talk about preparing for San Leandro High School. This is Father Plus Son Plus Football Podcast. This is season 3, episode 11. Today we are, chopping it up with each other. No particular special guest today. We'll get back to special guests next week. San Leandro, we're going to play on the blue turf.
All right, let me start off. We walk into the stadium. As soon as we step 1 foot onto their new turf, we all literally sunk into the ground. It was weird because I've never felt anything like that. But at the same time, it's new turf. It was nice. It was a really nice field, to be honest. But
you know the background of that field?
Yeah, it was gifted by an alumni. One of the alumni.
Do you know who the alumni was?
I forgot his name.
Well, here's what's interesting, because this is where the guy who gifted $500,000 for that field intersects with you. Remember when you were the national champion in the 8th grade?
Yes.
SBS Jim was in negotiations with an NFL player from the Washington. No, not from Washington, from Chicago Bears. He was the NFL Man of the Year. Charles Leno Jr. And Charles Leno Jr. Was, I guess he was gonna be trained by SPS in the offseason because he was preparing for new contracts and stuff like that. And he would eventually be traded to the Washington Commanders. But before all of that took place, he was one of the people who was considering underwriting financially the entire youth national program for SPS Gym. Now, I don't know if it actually happened or not, but you were one of the reasons why he was even considering funding it, because he's an Oakland kid who went to San Leandro High, and you were an Oakland kid who won a national championship. I don't know if he ever funded it, and you decided to move from strictly weightlifting and track and field, and you went back to football, and history has been made because we see what you're doing in football.
Woo.
However, he gave $500,000 and then had the field designed after his college alma mater, Boise State. Now, we can't stop there because well, watch this. Let me do this for you real quick. So on Twitter, right before the game took place, I think this is worthy of sharing on the broadcast because it's football related. So, and I got to find it. So while I'm looking for it, we'll just have conversation. Our student managers, our girls, student managers, right?
Right.
Here it is. I found it. So let me go back. Let me share this for the peoples. All right. They did something very sportsmanlike. I think it's worthy of seeing. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want to share screen. All right, let's go. Let's go to Twitter. You see that photo?
Loading. Yeah.
So this is on the Moreau Catholic football site. If you're not a follower on their X at Moreau Football, the student managers of Moreau Catholic would like to express their appreciation to Charles Leno Jr., 72. That's his Twitter, for his amazing contribution to the community. And then there's this hashtag, Play for Peyton. You see that? And so then San Leandro, and so that's at the 50-yard line on the field that he donated. Right. And that's the back. That was Leno Jr.'s varsity football number when he played for San Leandro High School. And now they are retiring. Now, I would have loved to see them retire his jersey without a $500,000 donation.
Right.
They're now retiring his jersey. Okay. But our student managers, our girls there, Emily, Olivia, Raj, her last name is Raj, and Jasmine. They had this Play for Peyton t-shirt that they wore in honor of Peyton. Now, the question is, and I'll come out of the share. The question is, who is Peyton? Do you know?
Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. So Peyton is the name of Charles Leno Jr.'s fourth daughter who died in miscarriage. So what happened was Leno had been traded to the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders are preparing to play, I believe, the Atlanta Falcons. And on the way to play the game, he gets word that his wife while pregnant with their 4th child, miscarriages. So, of course, he didn't continue on to Atlanta. He continues on to wherever his family is, and he doesn't play. And in an article this week, I forget the news source, but there were several news sources in the Bay Area. He is reported as saying that day when that happened, his whole priorities in life changed. This is an NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year. To get Man of the Year and the Walter Payton Man of the Year award in NFL, you have to be doing extraordinary community service. It's not something that just is given out haphazardly.
Right.
And now here he is miscarriaging of a child. His priorities are different. And that child's name was supposed to be in the spring, Peyton. And Peyton didn't make it. And so this week, ESPN on October 14th, I believe it was, I don't want to get the time wrong, but I think it was 2:46. Charles Leno officially retired from the NFL this week. It was all over ESPN. And guess what he chose to do, Seth?
What did he choose to do?
He chose to retire on the 2nd-year anniversary of Peyton not making it through miscarriage at the exact same time. So his retirement date and time stamp is the exact date and time stamp of when it was official that Peyton had suffered through the processes of miscarriage and would not be born. That's some tough stuff. Now, here's what's interesting. This last little tidbit. I was with a couple of coaches. There's about 4 of us all together. And we were discussing this very thing, right? And do you know that every single coach in that conversation has suffered the very same thing as Charles Leno Jr.? I was blown. It's a conversation that, again, could be on and football and beyond. Just saying. But there are a lot of things that men go through, and sports is a way of healing through it. And so while you guys are preparing to play San Leandro High School, there's a whole nother backdrop of things going on that are bigger than the sport. And so I was so amazed at how our student managers honored that moment. Mm-hmm. And I think it was an amazing, nobody sent out press releases or anything like that. It wasn't done so that the world could consume it. It was done out of pure sportsmanship and appreciation, because though Charles Leno Jr. donated $500,000 for that field to be done and to look like his college alma mater, it came at a price of pain. It came at a price of pain. And every kid in Oakland and every youth football program who's going to be playing the San Leandro Crusaders will benefit from being able to play on that amazing field in that amazing stadium in the city of San Leandro. So I don't know if Charles Leno will see any of this, but thank you, brother. You are blessing lives of children. And we pray for you and your family and your 3 daughters, that you guys will continue to grow and continue to heal through this. That's what's up. All right. Anything said before we go to the next situation?
While we're warming up, I peek over, because they have another set of field. And I do see the San Leandro Crusaders warming up. And that just gave me flashbacks of like old memories and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, dang, I used to be right there on that same exact field.
Yeah.
Right through people, popping, all that.
You know what was funny?
It was funny.
When you scored the touchdown, right? That's the same end zone where you put your first kid out of a game.
Yeah. And scored my first touchdown.
I said that was the first time I saw Seth hit a kid so hard that he did not get up. And they had to stop the game for like 20 minutes. And I was in the stands literally being quiet because people were like, that kid hit so hard. And I was like, I don't. At that time, I didn't want no smoke. I didn't know what to do. You were like, what, 10, 11 years old? No, you were probably like 9 when you ran that kid over into the end zone.
Nah.
And then you would run somebody over, Javion, for a 2-point conversion. But I remember when you were like 9, the first time you hit a kid, that kid didn't get up, and they had to cart him off the field. I'm just saying. All right, let's get to this varsity game highlights.
We got some. We weren't able to get all of them. We got some. We got some down.
Yeah, well, get what we can. We can get what we can get.
Yep.
So the first one is 4707, right?
Yes.
You got to go all the way back. 4707, right here. All right. Can you see that? We don't want sound.
We don't.
Talk to the people. What's going on here? Oh, good night. Good night.
Yeah, I'm just slow reading it. Big dude, number 63, big fella. I'm already knowing. I try to either take out the puller and the ball carrier, or it's just
That's you right there.
Yeah, that's me right there.
You're playing free safety.
Yep.
How the hell do you get a tackle for loss playing free safety?
Hey, you read my P's and Q's. I see it and I go get it. Wow. Yeah, man.
I know you're my son, but do you know how difficult and how rare it is for someone playing free safety? You are right now. I'm looking at the play at the beginning. You are 10 yards off the ball. Now, that's already incredible because most free safeties play 12 to 15 yards off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You have your laces 10 yards away from the line of scrimmage. And then you make a tackle for loss behind the line of scrimmage. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, what's next? Anything else about that clip?
Nah.
All right, we're going to...
It was speaking for itself.
All right. 47-24. Here we go. Take out the sound. You don't do film study with sound. All right, this is offense. Uh-oh.
Now, wait. Pause this real quick. Go to a play previous, because I think we missed this one.
Go to the play previous?
Yes.
All right, here's the previous play. All right, talk about it. Ooh! Yeah, they didn't want none of that. See, this is where... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. See, here's the thing for me. When you're on offense, a defender has to ask the question, do I go low and tackle him and run the risk of getting hurdled and onto his highlight film? Or do I tackle him near shoulder, near hip, and run the risk of being on his highlights because I've been trucked? That's an amazing dilemma to have athletes in.
Hey, like I said last week, they're gonna have to pick their poison: get trucked or get hurdled, or stiff armed.
Oh my God!
Because in that moment, I did a double take.
Boom! 1, 2, 3, 4 yards after contact. Give him love. He did fill the hole. Is that a linebacker? Who was that?
I think that's our safety.
That's a safety. Oh yeah, that's not fair fight.
Yeah,
The best thing that could have happened to him was the fact that you were inside the guard tackle. Because if this would have happened in the open field, this would have been real ugly. Oh my God, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Your O-line, man, they're back.
They've been doing their job lately, man. I'm telling you, I'm proud of them.
Look at that. Just
they got picking.
So that play, this is 2nd and 5. Boom, you go get 7 yards. Now we go to the next play, right?
Yep, go to the next play.
So here's the next play. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give it back to the bruiser back, the Derrick Henry. Now let me stop here. Why do we have? I see this slow walk. Like you don't like get out and you don't like take off full speed. It's like you walk, get it, then go. Why is that? Because I don't think you could do that at the next level. The next level, there's no way in the world you're going to be able to take 2 regular steps and then take off. But you get away with this a lot.
This is more so just staying patient, really.
I'll talk about that. That's different.
Yeah, it's just staying patient. You know, if you try to hit the hole too fast, or try to outrun my blockers, what's the point of trying to outrun?
Wait, this is the same guy. Last time he went high and got trucked.
Yeah,
now he's gonna go low. Yeah, see that's called making business decisions. He just got trucked. He's probably still kind of woozy. And now here you come again. This time he's like, I'm gonna go low. That would have been a good time to hurdle.
Yeah.
But I know you're kind of like,
I gotta switch it up.
Take away the hurdling right now and just get the yards.
Yeah.
But that would have been a perfect time to hurdle. That he's off his feet. He's got his hands exposed forward. You're supposed to, you have the right to hurdle him in that moment. This is nice. You're lying. That you didn't get touched. How long did it take you before you got touched? Let's take a look at it. This line is just
like 5-10 yards.
So let's see. The ball's at the 32. You don't get touched until like the 23. You went like 9 yards untouched. Yeah. Who is on the right side of that line?
If I'm correct, we got Enzo. If I'm correct, we got Richard and maybe Lance. And
yeah, that's the tight ends over there. Yep. Unless it's an on balance. Nope. Yep. Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Next play.
You got the numbers.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, so wait, then it's 47-25. I didn't see what happened here. Where are you at?
I don't think I'm in.
Oh, okay. So this is a good run by Zion Dysart.
Yeah.
You know, we have no problem spreading the love. Nice run on the inside. Man, that dude is tough.
Yeah.
I remember at the beginning of the year, there were conversations as to, you know, would Zion be able, as a smaller back, would he be able to handle the load of a varsity football game? And I immediately said, absolutely. That young boy he's going to be a bell cow. He's going to be all right. He can handle 20 carries a game. No doubt about it. You know, right now, statistically, you and him are in a tie for the most yards for the team this year. I think 547. Both of you have the same amount of yards. Although he's done it in less carries.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. I mean, I gotta clear the hole for him. Hey, it's okay.
Well, that's what I love. Let me stop.
Gotta clear it out.
That's one of the things I love about you. If I wasn't your father, one thing I love about you from a coach's perspective is you love to get yours and you have equal pride in making sure others get theirs. I love that about you, son. There's no jealousy in you about who has the most yards, who has the most touchdowns. You don't even care about that stuff, which I find fascinating in this generation.
I'm gonna get mine regardless.
But what I love is you take blocking for your teammates seriously. And when Zion gets off and he's down the field and he's getting first downs and 40-yard rips, averaging 10 yards a carry, what I love about that is that you like being a part of the process that makes that happen. Because most guys, they don't want to be the guy blocking. They want to be the guy with the ball. And you take pride in blocking for your teammates, man. I just think it's rare. That's a touchdown, man. That's just refusing. You're like at the 12-yard line. Yep. This is a 12-yard touchdown run by you. Get it, cut it, slide off, bulldoze, get into the end zone. That's good stuff. This is the opening score of the game.
Yep.
Opening score of the game. This is now in the second quarter. The score is 0-0. You have been the bell cow down to this point. Couple of mixes of Zion in there. Here we are at the 12. Kamani Brown, freshman quarterback, hands the ball off to senior running back Seth, and Seth just does the rest. Get into the end zone, young man. And then walk slow. I love it. You know, I love it with you. As fast as you are, what's powerful to me is after you score, how you walk slow. 2, 3. Then I don't know about this celebration, though. I don't know about all that. I don't know. What's that all about? What's going on here?
That was team celebration for that week. That was team celebration.
AJ in there, or is that Elijah Dysart?
I think that's Eli, Chris.
So that's Elijah Dysart.
Yeah.
Chris Wilson.
Yep.
Hey, man, he set the tone in the game.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't want that. Man, he was. See, you guys have a great opportunity to do something great because with you and Chris healthy, man, you guys are destroying defenses. Chris had like 30 yards on like 4 or 5 carries in the open quarter.
In the same play?
It's just wild. So that was, they got to go to 47-51.
Yeah. The goal for this game was to try to at least have 2s, 3s, and maybe 4s in by the start of halftime.
All right, so this is a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Just lower the head, get down in there. Let's not do nothing stupid. We have the power. I like that with that San Leandro defender. That overhang, he's gonna come in, he's gonna try it, but too much speed and power for him to stop you from getting a yard or 2.
Yeah.
So by the time he gets to you, the collision alone, you're gonna fall off of him behind the line. Good stuff. What were your thoughts on this one?
That one I kind of just used like his momentum to just push me forward a little bit. He hit me. There's 2 people who hit me on my left side, and then it just kind of swung me around, but I still just drove my feet and I just fell forward.
That's you had 2, you converted 2 2-point conversions. You had a total of 10 points. Total.
Woo!
You had 10 points. You know how many, and here the Pirates have 8 points. That's all. You scored more points for your team than the entire Pirate offense.
Yes, we like that.
You know that?
I didn't, but I know that now.
Yeah. You scored more points. However, I want to be very honest. Player of the game. Well, I couldn't say that. You had a teammate who made some amazing highlight plays. But those highlights were made after you guys were up front. So he wouldn't be player of the game because he didn't you created the scores that the other team just could never surpass. But it is worth noting AJ Jackson.
Oh, absolutely.
AJ Jackson was, my God. Let's do this play. We got to play at least we got to play his punt return.
Oh, yeah. On this punt return, I see at first I think he's going to let it go, but I know AJ. Then I realize he's not going to let it go. He's going to pick it up. He's going to try to run it. Boom. He picks it up. He runs all the way to the other side using his quick.
Oh, here's your final play. I don't Is this you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not. Why you do this boy like this? You can just tackle him, Seth. You ain't got to pick him up and slam him on his head.
Nah.
Did you try to do that or that just happened? Like, just, now, to his credit, he still gets the first down.
True.
Oh, that's a tunnel screen. But you're playing free safety. You came over. You're on the hash right now. You came over from the hash. You shed a block and then go get him. Yeah, that's pretty good. But he still got the first down.
Hey,
He still moved the chains.
they still didn't score.
No, they did not. That is true. That is true. The tunnel screen isn't quite set up properly, but you had to get over there and do something, or it would have been another score.
Wait, watch after the play. Watch Coach Trent Jamil. Watch him. He's in the all black next to Coach
On the
Greg.
sideline?
Yeah, on the sideline.
See it. Right there.
Yeah.
You flex it. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's do this. So I want to find.
The punt return was definitely in the first half.
In the first half.
It might have been the first quarter. It had to be the first quarter, actually.
So I'm thinking if there's a score right here. Oh, no, they're kicking off. So that means they scored. So it's got to be down here. It's got to be here. Right here. It's got to be about right here. Our offense. Our offense scores.
Wait, go back. Go back.
What? What? That can't be it. It's got to be more forward. We're kicking off. Here it is.
There it is.
Got to be. This young man, William Jackson, known affectionately as AJ, he's in the middle of the field. He scored 3 touchdowns in this game.
Yep.
I think this was his first one.
Yep, it was his first one.
Now, I saw his post-game interview. In his post-game, I don't know how you missed this, boy. I don't know how you missed that. Hold on, before we go there, how did you miss this? That's you coming off the edge right there.
Yeah.
How did you miss this?
Man, I try to plant my foot.
You this.
Go more diagonal and lateral. But
Poor number 2. Number 2 is doing his job. He's just not fast enough.
yeah. I don't know what number it was, but I see he's coming this way. Ajax bowling. He's going around. Bless you. And
Excuse me.
bless you. I just calculated. I just put my hands up. Somebody runs into my back. And then
Oh yeah, you don't want him. You don't want to be the one who
exactly. That's why I just turned around.
That's just
I
nice.
was waiting for him to hit me in my back. That was it. You're gonna see it. Put my hands up, he hit me in my back. He turned number 16 or 15, one of the two.
Nice. I like that last bit of acceleration. Watch this. When he comes back to the right, watch this acceleration. Watch that right there. That is track right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's closing the deal. I'm telling you, man. I hope he doesn't go to a JUCO. I really do. I hope he does not go to a JUCO. You know why?
He's too good for it.
Well, I agree with that too. But I hope he doesn't do a JUCO because he's got a lot of love where he's at in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I think his size, his height will distract coaches who aren't really developers. I hope he goes to a D3 school because a D3 school will give him a shot at least returning, which will open the door for receiving. He won't play DB at the next level. The chances of that would only be because that team isn't good. And I would hate to see him go to a team that isn't good, and that's why he's being forced to play DB. I think his future is in the return game punt return and kick return, and add a slot receiver. Slot receivers need to be small guys. Your Edelmans, your Wes Welkers, your DeAnthony Thomas, who played running back, and I think he could do some of that. And I think his third touchdown, which was shocking to me, his third touchdown was on it looked like just a simple toss sweep to the left. He got in the end. It's like 3 yard. So I think there's some ways that a D3 college could really use him. A D2 college could really do it, but D2 colleges get caught up in what's called the eye test. But I think a D3 college, he could go there and be a day one guy. So yeah, I'm rooting for him. Some pretty good highlights.
Yep.
Pretty good highlights. So I'm going to ask you this question now that we're going to switch reels. How are you adjusting to your new defensive position? First, in case we haven't thoroughly gone over it, talk about the conversation, the call you received about the defensive position, and then let's discuss what has transpired since.
It was just a matter of what's going to be better for the team. My whole off season, I was pretty much working free safety pretty much. I was always in the back, seeing all the formation, everything that was going on. But I was okay with it. I'm not. What's best for the team is what's best for the team. If I got to move my position, oh well, got to do it.
But how do you make the decision? How are you okay with that? I want to have an honest conversation because you've built quite a reputation at strong safety. You're now in your third varsity season as the leading solo tackler of this team. You have been the league's #1 underclass tackler since you've been on varsity.
Right.
Now your team like 1-3, and they're talking about moving you from the positions that made you a household. All of your offers, all of your college football offers have come from being strong safety. None of these teams offered you for running back because they hadn't seen any footage of you playing running back until this season.
Right.
Am I right?
Right.
So how do all of your offers are for strong safety because you can play in the box and out of the box. You can shut down half the field. You can come up on the run game. Now your high school is saying, Seth, we're going to move you to free safety. And let me ask this. Did they just tell you were moving, or did they ask you, would you agree with moving?
They asked me, would I agree with moving? I was like, sure, let's do it.
Why would you do that?
Best for the team is best for the team.
How do you know? Okay, let me ask this question. How do you know it would be best for the team?
Just
You're glitching.
honestly,
I don't know what just happened to him.
just a gut feeling.
His face is all glitched.
It was just
now.
a gut feeling. I don't know. It's Wi-Fi. I said it was just a gut feeling, honestly.
Oh, it's just
Just
a
a
gut
gut
feeling.
feeling. Just a gut feeling.
So you go with your gut feeling. You're 1-3. You move to a new position, free safety.
Mhm.
What has the defense been like since you moved to free safety?
Be honest, it's been a lot easier. I can read my keys better. I can actually see. I can see everybody, not just one section or two sections. I can see everything. I can see everything that's going on, and I'm like in the eagle's nest, but I'm on the field, pretty much. So
You know what I find interesting is since you have been, well, let me ask this question because maybe I don't know enough. Since you have been, this is your third game in the new position? You started with James Logan.
Yeah.
Then it was against Castro Valley.
Then
in this past week against San Leandro Pirates.
Mhm.
In that span, you guys have gone 2-1. You were 1-3 before that move.
Right.
Okay. Since the move, how many pass completions have been made by the opposing team 10 yards down the field between the hash marks?
None. None at all.
See, that's not a stat. There's no stat for that. And I want to bring it up because
air traffic control.
Well, I mean, you can have fun with it and all that kind of stuff, but I'm taking a little more serious approach.
I know
that you have taken on a position because you believe it will help your team. You have no evidence of that.
Nope.
Outside of your internal belief.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I learned that from Peyton Collins. Internal belief. That's ever since I heard him say that in an interview, I have just never forgot it.
Peasy.
He watched his internal belief stand strong against the odds, and the odds turned out in his favor. I love that boy. I got to catch up with Peyton.
Peasy with the squeezy.
He's at a D2 school.
Yeah.
Yeah. But your team was 1-3. You make a position change, and you're now 2-1 under the position change. Now, your biggest test is going to be this week.
Yep.
Your biggest test is going to be this week. And then I think, honestly, that's the last big test you're going to have for the season. Your biggest test is going to be if you can do what you have done over the last 3 weeks, this week, you might prove to be a D1 DB, which I would find crazy. Only because all of your offers right now are at strong safety position. Now you're starting to get a lot of attention from colleges for your running back skill set, but no official offers because of your running back skill set.
Yeah.
How
Shout out Jerron Price. He said I was like an Ashton Genty, Cam Scatterbo mix. But that's
Genty, Cam Scatterbo mix.
Yeah.
You said that?
JP, Jerron Price.
Jerron Price, he was our first guest in episode 1, was he not?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I saw a graphic on him.
Mm-hmm.
Jerron Price, matter of fact, let me see if I can I pull that up? Let's see if I can pull that up. Yesterday, while I was at, as we segue into our next piece, because we went to here it is, right there. Okay, let me see if I can share that. Let's go there. Share screen. Oh, we were at a JC game last night.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Daniels, the head of the Peach State Gridiron Classic All-America game that held in Georgia every December. Look what they posted. Committed. Jerron Price is now officially on the draft board.
Yes, sir.
And a DN. Look at that picture. It's a nice photo. And it's funny, like, I don't know if you guys saw this, but let's see. I told him when I saw this, I mentioned congrats to Jay Price, 2027 of Moreau football. Your life will not be the same after this. Right?
Right.
And then almost immediately after I posted that, look at Coach Coleman, Foothill College. He called Jerron Price a baller. Jerron was a part of that GSF
Yep.
combine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Kenny Colton knows Jerron Price said he's a baller.
Yeah.
Well, now he's going to have to put his balling skills to work in the state of Georgia against some of the nation's top talent. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. Yesterday, we went to a JUCO game. We watched Foothill College versus College of San Mateo. We were there because we knew athletes on both sides. I have coached athletes on both sides. One of our athletes, Jalen Arnold, is still Jalen Arnold. He had a 9-yard touchdown that he juked the entire right side of the Foothill defense. I mean, offensive right side. They had him dead to right. He did a jump cut, speed run, and was in the end zone. It looked like what he was doing when he was at Moreau. It just looked like a Moreau Catholic touchdown that we're used to seeing, and he was doing it at the JUCO level. He's one and done, I think. Got to be a college saying we need him, and I hope it's Oregon because he really would like to go to Oregon. But to go to Oregon, he might have to spend 2 years at a JUCO. I would love it to be just one, though. But you and I have been visiting D3 colleges and JUCOs. Tell the people a little bit about that process. Why are we doing
that? So far, the process has been going pretty well. We never limit our options as far as going to the next level, whether it's JUCO, D3, D2, D1. Some people might not go to D2, D1. Some people might not even go to D3 right out of high school, to be honest. Sometimes I might have to be stashed in the JUCO. Sometimes I might have to go there because of grades. Just want to let it be known I will not. If I go to JUCO, I will not be going because I have bad grades. I have good grades. I just want to let that be known. But yeah,
I had a conversation yesterday about that, and you said something to the effect that if you go to a JUCO, it's because something about you either wanted to go, but not because you had to go. What was the conversation? Clear that up.
That conversation, I said, if I were to go to a JUCO, it would not because I had to go to JUCO because of bad grades. It would be because I have to go for preparation for the next level, for a higher level.
Do you think you will need to go to a JUCO for preparation for the next level?
To be honest, I don't think I will, but you never know what happens. So
yeah, because it's one thing for you to believe, but do the college coaches believe?
Exactly.
Like there's a college here in the Bay who said, hey, if he was 6'1", I'm like, well, I think by now he is 6'1", but at the time you were not 6'1", and they were like, we're going to go off his senior film. And now, I mean, give me a kid in the Bay Area, 2026, whose senior film is better than yours that they're going to offer. I'm just asking the question out loud because I'm looking at some things that you're doing. I'm looking at you doing some things because you have natural talent and you're coachable and you're a team guy. Some team, and I say this for other athletes, I don't think I've ever said it about you, but I've said it about other athletes. It's time to say it because of you. Some team is going to get very much better because you're in the locker room, and it will have nothing to do with your play on the field. It'll have a lot to do with your mentality and how you can help your teammates be better because they want to be like you. That's who you are, man. Now, when we've been going to what is the difference in your opinion between these D3 football programs we've been going to and these JUCOs?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really see that much of a difference. Yeah, I don't really see that much of a difference, to be honest.
When I've gone to the D3 schools and the JUCOs look bigger.
That's true. I would definitely say that.
I would say roster per roster, the D linemen on JUCO look way bigger than the D linemen at a D3. Now that could be because JUCOs oftentimes get the washouts. Those D1 guys who didn't quite make it, who had to go and reset their career. They usually have to go down to the JUCO to reset their careers, which makes it harder. You got a guy who's 21 years old washing out to a JUCO to reset his career, especially a California JUCO where an athlete can come back home from wherever he went, and now he's not even on the NCAA 4-year clock, and or he can go to that he can go to that JUCO for free because he's still a California resident. That makes it very tough for a 17-year-old going to JUCO to develop. How do you develop if in your position is a guy who's now 21 years old who got at least 1 or 2 years of 4-year college experience? That's kind of tough. But we've been visiting, but we also have a plan. So we're going to stick to our plan. And this plan was put in place long before every JUCO in the Bay Area. Northern California has reached out to you, and almost every D3 school in Portland. Yeah. But, you know, we're not chasing offers. We're just going to keep putting our work together, keep putting out what we're doing, and God is going to eventually, if he hasn't already done so, he's going to eventually bring the right offer to the table. And we'll be fine with that. It's all in his hands. We just do our part. He's going to definitely do his. Yeah. You agree with that?
Yep, absolutely.
Are you agreeing with that because I'm your father and you say you don't agree with that?
Nope.
All right. I don't know if I believe you.
Oh well.
Oh well. Oh, you feeling froggy?
Huh? No, I believe you. I'm just saying. If you don't.
All right. Let's get into the top 10 Q&A questions that demand an answer from the son to the father. You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right, I'm gonna start off. Nah. All right, first question. How do you help someone who's already trying to give up on themselves?
How do you help someone who is trying to give up on themselves? Mm-hmm. It's very hard to help someone trying to give up on themselves because typically a person trying to give up on themselves will sabotage you and destroy and pull you down before you can pull them up. So you don't immediately try to lend a helping hand to somebody bent on destroying themselves. What you do is you try to at least pause their movement and have a conversation with them about why they are deciding to be what they are to themselves.
Right.
Now, if you could change their mindset to see that there is hope beyond their personal destructive behavior, well, then now you can lend a helping hand to pull them out of the mud that they voluntarily walked in for themselves in order to destroy themselves. But you don't ever try to save somebody that's bent on destroying themselves because they will hurt you and destroy you in the process. That's why it's very dangerous to go out into the water and try to save someone from drowning who's purposefully trying to drown. They will drown you in the process. So you got to be able to at least get their attention and show them that, hey, the pathway that you're taking, the decision to defame yourself is not the only option you have before you. Let me show you some other positive things about you. Let me show you some other positive things about your life. And if you can agree with me in this sensitive moment that what I'm saying to you happens to be true, well, then we have enough information to make better decisions that would be more healthy for your existence. So you can get them there, then you can help them. Oftentimes, people have a savior complex and they just want to run out there and try to save them. And that's how you get hurt in the process. That's how you become a memory. That's how you become a t-shirt. And you don't have to.
Yeah.
All right. Second question.
What made you want to become a coach and mentor to others?
What made me want to become a coach and mentor to others? I know the process. I wish I had my kind of coach. The kind of coach I am, I wish I had that. There's only one coach in my life who ever really stood up for me as an athlete and as a person. And that was the legendary coach, Vic Rowan of San Francisco State University. When he recruited me to come to San Francisco State out of JUCO, I thought after my JUCO years, I thought it was over. Because what I learned at JUCO was that it's all politics. It's not about the best players playing. I'm talking about at that time. It's not about the best players playing. In JUCO, what I discovered was coaches willing to play athletes because of who they perceived that athlete was out of high school and or the program that that kid came from out of high school to the JUCO. So if I'm a running back and I come into a JUCO from a high school that went, 3-7, and this other running back comes in from modern day who won the national championship, the assumption becomes that that running back from modern day is better than me. No, he's not. And some coaches can't see beyond the clippings that they had. There are amazing athletes on their football program that they do not know exist simply because they are locked into a kid who happened to get an opportunity to go to a good high school football program. But the kid's not faster. He's not stronger. He's not more driven. He doesn't have weight room experience. He cannot run between the guard, tackle, center, tight end. And so I learned at the junior college a lot of politics. Vic Rowan, however, sent some scouts to my junior college, and they found me, I think it was after like a sociology class. I had ran through the student center, and I was leaving the student center on my way to track and field practice, thinking football was over. And two guys out of nowhere stopped me and said, "Are you Dion Evans?" I said, "Yes." They said, "We want to talk to you about coming to San Francisco State University." I had never even heard of San Francisco State University. They immediately came to the school to offer me an opportunity to take an official college visit. I didn't know nothing about official college visits. I went on that college visit. They paid for my flight, my hotel, all the entertainment, all the food. And by the time I left that weekend coming back to Orange County, I said, I'm going to be a Gator. In my first year there, I am balling out. I now see my value because at that time, San Francisco State maybe had won one game the year prior. So they were looking for talent to come in there and do something substantial. And I came in there saying, I'm not going to let anybody outwork me. And we had a coach who he wasn't my position coach, nor was he my coordinator, but he had this thing about what he perceived as arrogance. He never saw anybody as having confidence. He always saw it as arrogance. So he thought the best way to handle somebody like me was to not play me in a game. And we lost. And it was Vic Rowan who told him he would lose his job if he did that again. And that coach had to then put me back in my starting position. And then we started winning games. I had never had a head coach ever do that, stand up for me on that level against men he hired. And that's why I'm always talking about Vic Rowan. rest his soul in peace. He was probably the oldest football coach I ever played for, and he was definitely the wisest football coach I ever played for. And that was one of the things that I will always cherish and remember. He made me see that there are some programs that care more about the athlete that is than the eye test and all that other kind of stuff. I hope I answered the question.
Yep.
All right, next question. This is question number 3.
Yep.
Let's go.
What is the biggest life lesson you've learned from coaching?
The biggest life lesson I have learned from coaching. All right. Long before I get a chance to coach your kid, many of them are already damaged. And I've got to uncoach their damage, or I got to coach them through their damage before I can actually coach them in the sport. I did a poll yesterday of a few athletes, and I was amazed at how many athletes, when it comes to the sport football, use the word scared. And now I'm from public school.
Right.
This is my first time these last 4 years in a private school. I've never, in a public school setting, when it comes to any sport, rather it be track and field, football, volleyball, soccer, I've coached all these sports. I have never in a public school heard a kid not be able to perform their sport because they were scared. Now, do they have fears of what life is like once they leave the campus and their community not being all that great? That's where they may have the ability and the desire, or not the desire, they have the thought that they're scared. But as long as they're on campus and as long as they're playing sport, they're never scared. So what makes a kid with no experience scared? And as a coach, I've got to deal with that life lesson. I've got to be able to convince your kid what scared is. For instance, a kid in America who plays sports should never feel pressure if you compare that kid to what kids are going through in the Middle East. What? You feel anxiety? I'm not. You feel anxiety? Do you understand what kids are going through in Bangladesh, in Gaza? It's a matter of perspective. And sometimes before I can coach a kid in a sport, I got to be able to reach him and coach him in life. And to be honest with you, a lot of parents and a lot of family members of these kids have damaged them. And we don't know the damage until now they're under our control. And then we got to be able to fix the damage without making the kid feel as if their parent is the reason that they're damaged. Although in many cases, a lot of what these kids are going through is because their parents have taken liberties in their lives that are not productive to their growth as adolescents. Yeah, one of the biggest lessons I've learned as a coach is I cannot coach a kid to his athletic greatness and use that to help them understand their ability to be mature and powerful and a great person. I can't do any of that until I first reach them through all of the grime they come to me with from people who say they love them. It happens a lot. Not all, but a lot. Next question.
All right, number 4. What is one thing you knew? Or what is one thing you wish you knew when you were my age? So at 17 years old.
One thing I wish I knew when I was your age, 17 years old,
Yep.
I wish I knew that I was going to college and I had my parents 100% backing. I knew I was going to college and I knew I wasn't on my own and I knew that I was going to get support. And I had a village of people around me who supported me every step of the way. And they had expectations outlined for me based upon studying my life and loving me to support me. I wish at 17, I was as confident as you are about the next steps of my life, entering adulthood. When I was your age at 17, I won't say I was scared to death. There was a lot of uncertainty about what was next.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Question number 5.
What's the toughest moment you've had as a coach, and what did it teach you?
The toughest moment I've had as a coach is probably something that happened this year. Coaches always get targeted for ridicule when something doesn't go their way. When a kid's parent feel as if something isn't going their kid's way, because parents believe their kid until they're forced to know that they can't. And every parent goes through that. And no parent wants to find out that the information that they've received from their kid isn't quite what it is. And that's why it's very important for parents to be very slow to anger and quick to hear. That's Bible. And this year, I experienced a situation that nearly made me say, I'm done. I had a parent, I'm assuming based upon something they believe their child said, write a letter to my superiors and my superiors all the way up to the highest superior, complaining, and they use some very choice adjectives to describe my personhood, of which nobody who's known me for 6 months, if you took my name off of that letter and you had people who know me read it, who's known me for 6 months, my name would never come up. But this parent believed in 6 weeks of knowing, not even knowing me, just knowing who I am, something happened to their child. Their child gave them a story. I still don't know what the story their child gave. And this parent wrote a scathing letter regarding me that led to an investigation of where in 24 hours I would be exonerated. But do you know why I was exonerated?
Why?
The only reason why I was exonerated was because I just so happened to have filmed the very session that the parent had said I had done these things. Now, some would say, well, that's good. You had film. But what if I didn't? Most coaches don't film practice. I happened to film it because I needed to evaluate some things so I knew where to put particular athletes as we are developing. I didn't film it to protect myself. I didn't film it because I thought we needed to be able to have some evidence of what we're doing. There was no, but had I not filmed it, I wouldn't be probably coaching today. So the lesson that I've learned is it doesn't really matter how much you care about the kids, how good a coach you are. All you need is one parent to believe their kid's story and fire off information to the right people at the wrong time. And if you don't mysteriously happen to have some evidence to contradict that storyline, your career can be over in shame. And then once you are exonerated, it just everybody goes away like as if nothing happened to you. And the people who had all the energy to nasty your name, they don't even use the same energy to apologize. And you know what? What else? I have to be professional, and I still got to coach that kid. I have to stay professional and treat that kid, coach that kid as if their parent didn't do a thing. And if you want to coach at the high school level, especially at a school where people are privileged, you better be prepared for the politics that have nothing to do with the sport. You better be prepared for the politics, or your name can be trashed and no one will believe you. Just saying. Just saying. Again, I hope I answered your question.
Yep. What is this? Question number 6? Yeah. How do you balance between being a coach and a dad?
How do I balance between a coach and a dad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm great at that. So I only put you as a dad. I only put you in situations where you're being coached by people I can trust.
Right.
I don't take risk.
Right.
If the coaches aren't men themselves, if they're on social media crying about girlfriends, hell no, you'll never be under their leadership. If they're grimy individuals, if they're womanizers, if the coach is somebody who's going to potentially sleep with an athlete's mom or dad, not having it. Not having it. If they're abusive, when I can set, I don't have to coach you during the season because I train you year round.
Right.
So most guys coaching you, who will ever coach you, will only be telling you what you've already been trained to do, which makes it easier for you. Because you're never, think about it, Seth. In all of your years of playing sports, has any coach ever told you something that was so brand new that you had to come home and tell me what you learned today? You know why? Because I already know what they got to teach you. I already know. I am a football coach. I am a track coach. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. All 3 of those levels you must know and master. And I have been training you in all of that since you were 7 years old. So at best, all any coach is ever doing with you is complimenting what I have already done. So that's why I can stay back as a dad and just watch, because I know the only thing the coach is doing is what I've already coached you to do. They may be using other terminology. They may have the ability to inspire you in other ways. But the truth is, you're not really learning anything from a coach that I didn't put you there to learn that particular thing from that coach. For instance, what did you do this past summer?
I did 7-on-7s, but I was working on coverage skills.
When you did 7-on-7s, did you play the position you play in high school? Nope. Because I said, well, he's got to get better at coverage skills. So what did I do? I put you in an organization with a coach, Coach Michael Hill Jr., who I knew is an amazing wide receiver coach. So by default, he understands exactly what wide receivers are trying to do, and he by default can teach you what you need to know as it relates to the defense, how to watch coverage. So TMP was where you went this year. You did not get to play a single down of linebacker. You had to deal with coverage because I knew that in your senior year for varsity, with all the seniors y'all lost, you were going to have to be great at coverage, not just being a box safety.
Right.
And look what happened 4 weeks into the season. Now imagine me not having the prophetic vision to make that decision a year ahead of time. Not only you, but your team would be in trouble. So yeah. What allows me to be separated as a father and a coach is because I coach you year round. I train you year round, and then I only put you under the custody of coaches I know how to coach. And they are good men. You have never had a coach that I've allowed to coach you that was not good men. And that's why a lot of them guys are still in your life to this day.
Right.
And anybody who started off good and started behaving unethical, you don't know nothing about them anymore. You don't even see them. You don't ever hear me speak their name.
Nope.
Next question.
All right. What advice would you give to someone who wants to be a great leader?
Be a great servant. You do not deserve, nor will you ever be good at leading until you are great at serving. And serve is all you should ever want to do. Leadership happens when people need a leader and they know you are one who has served. To aspire to be the leader oftentimes is rooted in arrogance, and oftentimes is rooted in self-desires that may not be manifested on experience. It's power. And when you lead with power, you lose the capacity to love. If you lead as a servant, you will always lead people properly because you see them as us, not me over them. And so if you want to be a leader, you must strictly desire to serve until being asked up to lead by people who trusted you as a servant. Can't go wrong with that.
Okay. All right. Now, pivot the point a little bit. What is the funniest thing a player has ever done during a game or practice?
The funniest thing a player has ever done during a game or practice. The funniest?
Funniest.
That's a lot of years I'm going through. I fail to recall anything as it relates to being funny. I mean, I've had a lot of funny moments, but I don't in a game or in practice. I'm stumped on that one. I don't.
That was supposed to be an easy question.
No, that's not easy because anything that I find, if I find it funny, it's probably because it was just so bad. It wasn't funny. It was funny because we had to laugh because anything else would have been inappropriate a response. So yeah, I can't recall a situation that happened in a practice or in a game where I just was like, that was hella funny. Yeah, I can't recall anything. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. If you weren't coaching, what ridiculous job would you think you would be doing instead?
If I wasn't coaching, what ridiculous job? Number one, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't do any ridiculous job. Any job I'm going to do has got to have a purpose to it. Okay. So can I edit your question? If I wasn't coaching, what job would I be doing?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
And the job can't have anything to do with coaching.
It can't have anything to do with coaching.
I'd go back to writing for the local paper. When I used to be the religion editor for the Oakland Post, and so I had to cover all of the faith-based organizations in the Bay Area, and I did that. I was the successor of Chauncey Bailey. Chauncey Bailey was a decorated journalist who was murdered in Oakland because of some articles that he was writing about the Nation of Islam. At least that's the story. There is some court cases behind that to kind of bear it out to be true. But I was his successor. And so I wrote probably for 4 to 5 years, all of the articles on a weekly basis, 3 or 4 articles a week that I would have to write for the religion section of the Post newspaper group, which is the most notable one is the Oakland Post. But I also wrote for the Richmond, the Tri-City, all those papers. I would be covering stories from all over the Bay Area. So if I wasn't coaching, I'd probably go back to that, but I wouldn't go back to that as a religion editor. I'd go back to that to create a high school sports page for athletes in the East Bay. I think that is necessary. And because every article, young kids, so all these other papers they write an article about your school, and then you got to go behind a paywall to see it. They got to subscribe. Well, Post newspaper group, last I checked, is free, and it's still a print newspaper. So you can pick them up anywhere in the East Bay in the local stores, right? You go to local stores and they'll even deliver it to your house if you're on a particular list. But what I would do if I wasn't coaching, I would be going around to every school, covering the games, doing articles on coaches, doing articles on athletes, and having it printed in the paper. That's what I would do. I think that would be an amazing usage of my resources and time. I would enjoy that.
Okay.
Great question. You kind of make me want to do that now. Might have to contact Paul Cobb and be like, hey, man, I got an idea. You might have started something, Seth. Who knows?
Last question. End it out. What is one piece of evidence? What is one piece of evidence you hope everyone you've mentored remembers forever?
I love you. And that's real love. It ain't like I love you. And you can count on me. If I've ever put fingerprints in your life, you got me for your life. That's what I want you to remember. I want you to know that you were loved. I want you to not just know it because it was a word. I want you to be able to have evidence that you was loved, and then use it to pass that forward to others. Be that to others. Come back.
Bingo. That's all I got.
JV player shout outs. Oh, my JV hurt my heart.
Yeah.
It hurt my heart. I want what's best for my kids, and I want my kids to win because they are winning does a lot for their confidence in areas that have nothing to do with football.
Right.
And losing only ingrains bad thoughts that I'm trying to get out of their bodies. Winning helps us to keep them focused and forward. Losing ingrains the darkness that they shouldn't even have to worry about. It's bigger than the football game. winning on the field does something to the lifestyle off the field. And when you lose a game like the way we lost it, and how we lost it this past week, I hurt for the kids. I hurt for the kids. But they have to grow up in this moment, and they will. So I don't have any particular names to shout out. But I am proud of those that showed up on Saturday preparing themselves for the biggest game of the season coming this Friday. Yep. Peach State Classic. Anything? We kind of talked about that. Jerron Price.
Yep.
That's what's up.
No.
That's what's up.
Well, we got what? 2, 3, 2. 3 is including me.
Well, there's you, there's Jerron, and there's Zion.
Yep.
All right, your final shout outs.
Shout out to everybody who's been watching the broadcast. Definitely stay tuned for next week. Homecoming will go down.
Turn the favor.
Man, we coming.
Hey, man, I love you. Great job today. And we want to be, hopefully we're celebrating next Sunday. Either way, it's going to be great because you are who you are and I am who I am. Hey, bless y'all till we see each other next time. Pass on the link. Let others know about the broadcast. All right.
I gotta know what you think about those questions, though.
Say catch an eye like a fish. Don't let him go. I say if that try to holler, let me know. Games in the movie silence. Get ready to go. No, I can't ever stop. I so ride to the night. I took chance after chance after chance. I'm on top. How you back, though? Yo, treat them just like an app. In the same section, one specific black. 9900 my boulevard. Whoa. Why my chicken new toe? I can never ever fall. So finna go. Ass sticky situation, but the board is my coach. 20 big hoes, and my soul, not for soul. I was out and I go. I just stay with the flow. $50,000 gonna put me for show. I do what it takes. Confidential when I'm dealing with snakes. I do what it takes. Diamond counter with a big of it face. I do what it takes.